Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. And welcome to Morning Brew. Yes, I'm doing a late morning brew this morning because Salty Trucker was on and I wanted to wait until after he was done. Let's get started in the chat. Eric Sonder was first. Mr. Grant Gregory, hello. Salty Trucker, Salty Bot Online. Professor Brady Specs says last as always, but not true. Resolute Germ says hello, and hello, PJ. Orville Nation. BK Dan, morning all. Some for second morning. Yes. And let's see here. People say hi to each other. Dave G. Sound good morning. And yeah, local forecast on the Weather Channel. Yes, but we're not going to go with sponsorship here either. So yeah, although I wouldn't mind the money. You know what? Money doesn't buy happiness. Doesn't buys comfort. Buys makes life a little easier and more comfortable, but it doesn't buy happiness. You can be happy and be poor. The thing is having joy in where you are in life, and that's something I'd forgotten for a long time. I forgot how to take joy. In fact, it was somebody who a lot of people don't like, but I contacted him on Twitter, and I asked how they dealt with the people hating on them. And his reply was that he treats them like, how do I say this? Well, this is basically high school, the way people act. Treats them like the 12-year-old little brother of the friend he's visiting, who just wants to annoy people. And I'm going to need to talk to somebody because I need to get a new clip. I do. I want to celebrate every time I get an Aussie upvote. I do. It would be just fun to just have fun and celebrate. Good morning, Jason Price. Good morning, BK Dan. Aberjam, good morning. And actually, it's good afternoon for you. And what's going on? Kapla Berna Prey 5. Let's see here. Let's keep going. Kronos. Good morning, Kronos. How are you? I do have somebody backstage. Yes, Bert is here. And I do hope you're feeling better, Bert. And how is Mamo Prey? Let me get back to the. Here we go. We got Salty on.
Oh, hey. How's it going, Captain?
It's going good, actually. How about you?
Hanging in there. So I want to say this, though. I'm going to disagree with you slightly, but,
Okay.
But not necessarily in a horrifically bad way. I do think money can buy happiness. What money can't do, though, is buy joy.
Right.
And that's something that people don't understand the difference between the two.
No, you're right.
And so, because happiness is purely situational. I'm happy that someone gave me a new car, right? I'm happy that that I have a nice ham sandwich. I'm happy that, any situation can make you happy or sad or whatever. Joy is an attitude about life. And so you can be joyful in any circumstance.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think, and it's very tough, especially like, and so many in the community that have been dealing with chronic issues. It can be very, very difficult sometimes, but the real mastery of this thing called life is to find joy when you're in a constant state of pain or suffering of some kind, and to be able to have that positive outlook on life as a whole. And that can be very difficult, sure, but that can get us through the darkest of times. Because I know, man, you were in a really low spot about a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And I was genuinely worried about you. So, I'm glad that you've pulled yourself up quite a bit from there. I'm not saying that you've arrived.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not saying I have either. But
yeah, you're definitely not right. Where you were.
No, I'm not. I was at a really dark place, and I didn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. In fact, just the other day, I was talking to somebody, and because I have a counselor I talk to once a week.
Good thing. Anybody who's feeling severe depression or anything like that, see someone, please.
Oh, absolutely. You need to, if you are suffering depression, there is hope. There's a reason they have a national suicide hotline.
Right.
There's a reason that so many professionals are available to talk to. And I was so hesitant for the longest time because I didn't want to be labeled as, whatever, suffering depression or, suffering chronic pain or whatever it is. But like I said, when I talked to that one person, all of a sudden this light bulb moment, it was just like, I'm letting the people who don't like me define who I am. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this is stupid. What?
It's
why do I care?
It's like Indie Tiger on my stream earlier today when he was saying how one of his coworkers was basically calling him the guy who has seizures.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to go slap that guy.
But yeah, absolutely. By the way, just so you know, in honor of your live streaming, I'll turn my camera on for just a second here. But I did make a fresh cup of coffee since this is the morning brew. So just wanted to let you know.
Ooh.
So because not that the point of your live stream. So you've been doing the morning brew for a while now. How long have you been doing it now?
Yeah. Over a year. I looked at I don't know how many. I have like over 600 wow. streams for the morning brew, and it's like, what? Okay. How?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem possible. But it was funny because I'd gotten to the point. It's like, it isn't fun anymore. And then, yeah, it is. I, allowed stupid things to take over. And speaking of stupid things taking over.
Oh, hey, Bird.
Hello, world. It's Birdo5, Kapla.
Wow, that sounded very low energy.
I don't think he's feeling well.
Energy. Hello, Resolute.
Good morning,
Bird. Hey, Captain. Long time no see, Salty.
Hey, how you doing, Resolute?
Not bad.
Let's see here. Now I'm turning into Bird and Salty, getting behind in the chat. Oh, but whatever. Kronos. Good Lord, I don't care.
What did Corona say? I can't see the chat.
He's talking about his gender. Let's just say that. And he's saying that he has, well.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know there, Kronos.
Good for you, Kronos. Good for you.
That was one of the two options. I mean,
oh, but no, there are times to just say, life is a choice and you got to make the right one. And really, the right choice is to be joyful with what you have.
Right. Sometimes you're a bird of prey, and sometimes you're an intelligent person.
Speaking of which, how is Mamo Prey?
I think Bird fell asleep already. Wow, that's record timing.
Oh, I know.
Sleep in what, 2 minutes?
He falls asleep on my streams all the time.
You know what I think he's doing?
He will admit to that.
Yeah, I think what he's actually doing is huffing his Gelogia machine.
Ooh. I hope it's a separate one.
No, it's the same one. That's what he does. Like, when you think about like bong water kind of thing, he does that with his Gelogia machine. He just like breathes through it. It's really kind of disgusting. But like, you remember like the Harkonnens from the original Dune? That's Bird in a nutshell. Is Baron Harkonnen from the original Dune, from the 1984 version.
Wow.
Just tell me, Bird, if I'm wrong, just say something. See? Totally accurate.
3, 2, 1. Well, it must be because he's not responding. So
exactly. See, I gave him ample time to respond.
I added time to it. So hey.
Hopefully, Mamo. I didn't hear because I've not been online for a while. So is Mamo Prey taken ill, or what's been going on there?
Yeah. Well, nephew Prey brought sickness into the house.
Oh yeah, kids are walking vats of germs.
Mm-hmm. So they both got sick. Mamo Prey first, then Bird. But it's taken a while getting over it.
Mm-hmm. So the Clono Prey brought in the some kind of nasty disease. And
okay, sorry. I was talking to the doctor. I couldn't answer you.
Okay.
You were talking to the doctor again?
Not that doctor, Professor.
Not the cloning doctor.
But the doctor, the cardiologist.
Which doctor?
You see,
the witch doctor?
War doctor?
Actually, last night my medication was working too good, and my blood pressure was 88/60.
Wow.
Which, without taking pills, and it's not much higher this morning. So I just wanted to confirm, and she said, "Yeah, don't take pills today. Let's watch the blood pressure instead."
Good idea.
So, yeah, which is unfortunate because I'd be feeling so good otherwise, and I thought we were on a sustainable medicine regiment, but I think we're just a little too high. And unfortunately, I'm already kind of taking 2 meds at the lowest doses. So,
Hey, Bert, I have a question for you.
yeah.
Are you and Charlie the only 2 men in the family right now, in your immediate family?
As to brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews.
Yeah, well, yeah, close relation.
I mean, I've got a lot of cousins, but
There's Uncle
Charlie
Paulie, right?
is my
No, Uncle
closest
Paulie is
male.
fictional.
Are you
Charlie
sure?
is my closest male living relative, I guess. Although he's as a nephew. I mean, I do have uncles.
Well, we know that, first of all, we know Charlie's actually a clone, not a nephew.
But yeah, no, Charlie is closest.
Yeah. Well, the reason I asked that, now I assume you have not seen the Foundation series yet on Apple TV.
No, not yet.
Yeah. I think we need a third Opre male to make it to because the way it's actually kind of interesting because they almost perfectly replicate like what Kuroga wants to be is what the Empire is in Foundation. But they have 3 living clones at any given time. The eldest is referred to as Brother Dusk. The middle is referred to as Brother Day, and the youngest is referred to as Brother Dawn. And then once the eldest reaches a certain age, he is eviscerated, and a new Brother Dawn is brought out of the incubator, and the Brother Day becomes Brother. Yes.
Well, I don't know if I like that word.
Well, it's coming. When Charlie's time comes, you will be eliminated.
Wait, eliminated or eviscerated?
You're just completely disintegrated.
I'm sure he'll dispose of you with honor, Bird, but he will dispose of you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
No mess.
No moss or no mess?
Well, both. Actually. Yeah. And then Charlie takes over. A new one is hatched. And then when Charlie reaches the same age, then Charlie is evaporated and the new hatchling takes over.
Exactly.
Sounds kind of savage to me.
What age is this?
Oh, it's pretty old. I mean, like Brother Dusk, I would guess was probably 70 or so.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. It's not like they do it at 30 years old, it's not like that, but
haven't had a male in my line of the family get to 70 as far as I can remember. Meaning just my dad and my grandfather both died well before they're 70.
And how old are you? 60?
42.
Okay, so
almost 43.
We'll not put up with you much longer.
No, you won't.
Now, how are you feeling lately, Bird? Are you doing any better? Other than
I mean, I got this cold, which is giving me a terrible cough, and honestly, Charlie did give it to me.
Right.
So he's trying to eviscerate me a little early, I guess.
It's just a practice attempt.
Yeah, it's just a warm up.
If I didn't have this cold, I think things would be going a lot better. I feel like my heart has improved considerably. I have no way of proving it. But my two biggest problems right now.
Can they detect a heartbeat?
Yes.
Then that's an improvement.
My 2 biggest problems right now are my cough and the fact that my CPAP machine is broken
Is it
And
broken
because-
or are you a recall boy?
because yours was recalled.
Right.
Now my new one is on back order because
Well, that's
I
not my fault. Don't be blaming me.
You should have.
Way to go, Salty.
Yeah.
Way to
The
go.
right
Blame
one
me
to
that
begin
Phillips
with.
screwed up the construction of a CPAP machine.
It's because Philips ones are built in China, and they use fucking cancerous plastic rubber.
Yeah, they did something that where people were literally breathing in something was causing cancer in their CPAP machines.
Yeah.
Yay. Wonderful.
Yeah. So
now,
yeah.
by the way, Philips oxygen concentrators have dropped in price from $2,000 to $600.
Gee, I
They're
wonder
trying to
why.
give them away.
The good news
because
is they'll
no
give
one
you
wants to
oxygen. The
buy
bad
them.
news is they'll also give you cancer.
Right, because they're not recalled yet, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, but I'm assuming anyone with half a brain realizes they probably came out of the same factory.
Right.
Um,
Well, I know that in the recall there was some kind of life supportive equipment that was part of the recall.
Mhm.
But I don't know exactly what equipment because, like, I just have a CPAP. I don't have anything that's considered life support.
should be considered life support.
Well,
It
CPAP
should.
is technically
You're right.
not. I mean, just because you can technically sleep without the CPAP, even though it may not be.
Increases the
ideal.
chances of death.
Mm. Right, nice to see the way you think about things.
Oh, I'm just saying, it does.
Well, considering how heavily I depend on the CPAP machine, yeah. I mean, their chances
What if you
of
were
death
a
are
truck driver or a school bus driver,
yeah.
and you couldn't get your sleep, and you drive your school bus off a cliff. Then who's got the last laugh?
So, Bird, I really want you to take a nap on Friday.
On Friday.
Yes.
Okay, why Friday?
Because I really, really want Bird to see the movie on Friday night.
Ah,
Star Trek 5.
It already feels an hour later, which means by the time you start
You'll get used to it by Friday.
at 11 p.m. Eastern, it's going to be midnight.
Look, let me see here. All right. Captain, let me show him this for a second. Don't worry, there's no audio. You won't get You shouldn't get hit for anything. All right, so this is you may recognize that's the shadowy figure of Cybok from the opening scene of Star Trek V there.
Uh-oh.
And so this just so you see, this is going to be my magnum opus of movie night with Matthew thus far. But this is just in the first minutes here of the film as the credits begin to roll. So we see fades to white. Paramount Pictures presents
Now, you did change the title of this movie, didn't you?
here it is. Star Trek V. Vulcans are Dicks edition, the Karogan cut.
oh Lord.
No. You didn't name this right.
Well, what's wrong with the name?
No, it should be Star Trek V, Life is But a Dream.
Well, except that then I'd have to somehow take off the final frontier. And it's harder to remove something that's already there.
It can be done. It can be done. Just blame it on the bad effects for the movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just put a black box over it.
But come on,
Exactly.
But come on, look at the name of the producer there. You don't.
No, I liked the name of the producer.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
George Takei. Oh my.
Anyway, so yes, it's going to be a fun-filled evening. Harv Bennett appears in the credits a lot, by the way.
What time is this?
It's going to be at 9:30 on Friday Central.
So 10:30.
Yeah, that's why I said I want you to take a nap.
You also have to add on the original series episode that appears before the movie.
Right. Well, and that's going to be a lot of fun too, because in the original series episode, of course, with each movie night, we've been trying to watch an original series episode that ties into that movie directly.
Right.
So, last night we watched Star Trek IV. So for the original series, we watched Tomorrow is Yesterday, which is the episode where they discovered the time travel breakaway, which is what they used in Star Trek IV. Right. So in this one with Star Trek V, what original series episode could possibly get us to Cybok trying to find Eden? Oh yeah, the one with the space hippies.
Oh, joy.
Because they were trying to find Eden. But wait, there's more, because of course the main story of Star Trek V was that Cybok was trying to take him to the center of the galaxy to meet God, but they actually meet an evil Satan-like alien. So
I think Salty should pay you royalties for that, Bird.
Oh,
but wait, there's more.
No, wait, there's more. Yes, because in Star Trek: The Animated Series, they go to the center of the galaxy, and of course, they meet Satan.
Yeah.
So there we go. We're all set.
That's just another dream of Kirk.
Another dream of Kirk. And actually, yeah, I wonder how Matthew's going to react, because Matthew's never seen the animated series. It's going to be very interesting to see how he reacts to the fact that in the animated series they actually say that Kirk saved Satan.
Yeah,
that should prove it. Also, by the way, there's of course the dolphin working in the background. Because, Matthew thinks there's dolphins on the Enterprise. So there he is.
Oh, Matthew loves dolphins.
Yeah. So now we actually officially will have dolphins. Every time we watch an episode of the animated series, keep your eyes open for the dolphins. Because they will appear in every episode somewhere.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this one now.
So we have this is going to be I'm putting so much into editing Star Trek V here, because there's just so much to do with this movie. And of course we had and a weird thing, this is how this whole thing got started, was that there was a problem with when I downloaded the movie, for some reason, and I still don't know why, the Klingon subtitles didn't appear in my digital copy. So I couldn't see the Klingon subtitles at all in the movie. So I had to basically reconstruct them.
Wow.
And so I didn't feel like going back and looking up the Klingon dialogue. So I may have improvised just a little bit.
Ah.
And so here's where the Klingons first appear, of course, and they blow up the space probe. There's our Klingon commander. I'll give you just a little taste here as he walks onto the bridge of his ship. So there may have been a little bit of alteration to the Klingon dialogue, just a little bit. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun to make Star Trek V just into.
Why is everybody laughing?
I don't know, because it's just what happened, right, Bert?
Can't read.
You can.
You'll be able to read it on Friday. Is that correct?
Yep. So I think it'll be a lot of fun
on Friday, Bird.
Yes. So the extra special Kuroga cut of the Vulcans Are Dicks edition of Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. Anyway, I do see that my lovely wife is now up and about, so I should be going. But as always, thank you for having me on, Captain Trek. I know we haven't talked in a long time, but I'm glad to see that you seem to be doing much better than you were. And so, sorry for stepping on your toes every now and then when it comes to streaming.
No. That's understandable.
It's generally not.
Happens.
Yeah, I know. It's not generally. That's the problem. It's not like we're all on the same TV network or something. So sometimes we overlap, and it's never done out of malice. It's just like sometimes when I just need to get something off my chest, I just start streaming.
Oh yeah,
and you are, you guys are all good people. Jeff,
salty.
You just love coming on my streams and arguing with me, don't you?
I don't want to argue with you.
I
really don't.
I think you do. I love you though, Jeff. Thank you.
I do have to agree with Salty on that one. I do think you like to argue with him. It is fun.
Actually, I really don't.
Resolute, good to talk to you, even though as briefly as we did. And Bird, you're here too. So, guys,
wow.
Take care.
Wow.
And hopefully, I'll see you guys on Friday. And if not, though, take care of yourselves and have a good week. All right.
Oh yes.
All right.
Take care of yourself, Sonny.
Take care.
And yes, Darth Haster, that is Anti-Trucker, or formerly known as Anti-Trucker, the Salty Trucker.
That's right, ATST. And Kronos does ask, where is Butterflies? Good question. Where is she? How is she doing? Yes, you're stuck with Bird. It's not like it's, hell on earth or anything like that.
Well, Cap's here, Kronos. I mean, it's not all Bird.
If
and
you're not on the West Coast, it's not hell on earth. The West Coast is hell on earth. Everyone else, you got slightly better.
No, I'm not on the West Coast.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the left coast either. Or the right.
Kronos, I think you're right. Kuroga is hell.
I don't know about that. Maybe purgatory, but I think hell's even worse.
You may have a point there, Cap.
Hell would be like, I can't name names, but another channel that's well known that is more on the SJW side. I'll just put it that way. It's like having chives on your pizza. I'll put it that way.
I don't think I've ever had chives on my pizza, so I wouldn't know what that's like.
Let's
So what's
see
going
here.
on, Cap?
Darth Astor, I was doing the hardest challenge on Killing Floor 2. It's harder than the hardest difficulty in the game. You need a break. Cool. Well, what's going on is I actually got a couple of messages asking me about streaming, and I thought, yeah, I'm going on Salty Truckers. And
Cool.
so it's like I got a couple more after that. It's like, well, you get a stream later? Maybe. And then he mentioned about streaming, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll set it up. And I just
well, we
set
know
it
that
up.
you love to stream.
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. Believe it or not, I do. I just kind of sometimes lack confidence. I'll put it that way.
Oh, I think that's could be said of most of us. I know I lack confidence at times.
It's human nature. Speak for
I can
yourself,
Well, I don't
sell
know.
an
you
arrogant son of
guys
a
some
bitch.
confidence or lend it to you for a very reasonable rate.
Define
really?
reasonable.
Kuroga
Exactly.
has plenty of confidence in which to spare. Reasonable is however much you think you can pay, plus say 10%.
Plus 10%.
Ah,
What if I say 0?
Well, then it would be plus a flat fee of
Flat fee.
$150.
I see. I think I'll pass, Bird.
150 per what? Day? Month?
Okay. Okay, I'll
Year?
give you a penny.
Okay, I'll give you a penny's worth of confidence.
And what is that, Bird? What is a penny's worth of confidence?
He'll get it once I receive payment.
Oh my God.
Super Blubberpuss wants to know, Bird, are you streaming Twilight Zone today?
Let's see.
I intend to, yes. 2:30 p.m. Eastern.
Where
Unless
the heck is that at?
Unless.
well, no, 2:30 should be right. Because our
Awesome.
clock's changed. So
Correct.
that should give time. So yeah.
Well, I'll just say, Bird, live on the air here that we appreciate you moving back Twilight Zone for A Question of Trek, of course, which comes on after Twilight Zone.
Nah, no problem.
It's Sunday. Birdo Pray 5 might eat the out-of-date spam. Mama Pray say for him when he reviews the Twilight Zone. Tune in and find out.
I think we all would enter the Twilight Zone if Birdo Prey 5 ate the out-of-date spam.
I think so.
I Random Menace, I'm not even going to go there. First off, I don't think you would want to give that up.
What? What? The random menace.
Exactly, Cap.
No. No. Never mind. I won't go there. I won't go there.
I think the random menace is on some drugs for his cold. He's not thinking clearly.
Well, let's put it this way: the medication that is over in Europe is different from here because they can get the stuff with coating over the counter. We can't.
That's true. Unless you're in Kuroga.
Cyanide is not coating.
My coffee mug's empty again.
So
This
mine.
is wrong.
Yes,
this
it is
definitely wrong.
Coffee mugs should refill themselves. There should be a button that you can push at least once and refill it.
I'm all for that.
And good afternoon, Mar. How are you?
Wonderful.
Joseph?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mar. I don't get to talk to you much, Mar.
Yeah, I'm not talking much because I do not talk over other people.
Well, I apologize.
Oh no, it's not you. It's well, you know how it is when you have a lot of people on the panel, and everyone wants to say something, and they start talking over each other.
Oh,
and they
yes.
just can't get anything in there anymore. And here in Germany, for example, it is very rude to speak while someone else is speaking.
I completely agree with that, Mar. And the random menace, Joseph, I did not use that particular word. I don't care how you try to twist it. I did not use that word. Thank you very much, sir.
Let's put it this way. All I'm going to ask about this is if you were to ask for that, would you at least ask for the largest one? Because if you're going to go for that, well.
Damn it, Joseph. I said a penny's worth. A penny's worth. As in a cent. You know damn well what I meant.
Yeah, at least Bird caught on. Oh, God.
Yeah,
The coffee backpack. I like that. And good morning, Wesley Crusher. What's going on, my friend? How are you?
Hey, Wes. Oh, you just was saying that here in Europe you can get stuff in drugstores or in apothecary that you can't get in the US. It's the same way here that we can't get stuff that you get in the US pretty easy, like, for example, painkillers or strong painkillers.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it that way. Here you have to go to the doctor to get the better stuff. Normally I have to take up to 4 pills from the free ones just to get rid of my headaches.
Yeah. Well, like here, the they have what used to be prescription, and they're now calling prescription strength. No, it's not. Bullshit. I shouldn't have to take 2 pills to get the same effect of what I used to take for 1. No.
Well, the thing is magnesium. You know,
Mhm.
sometimes you have to take magnesium so you don't get cramps and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And my doctor told me I should take 800 milligrams a day. Free. I can get only 50 milligrams per pill. That would be a complete breakfast and pills just to get the
my.
800 milligrams together. So he has to give me a prescription for magnesium, for stronger magnesium pills. So I only have to take 1 or 2, depending on what's available. If it is 400 milligrams per pill or 800.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit stupid. Hey, Mr. Lundell.
Good morning, Mr. Lundell.
Good morning, Mr. Lundell, fellow Texan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we have the right coast, the left coast, the center, and Germany.
Who's from
Yay!
Germany? Oh, that's me.
Well, I knew it wasn't Birdo Prey 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Bert is from. Sometimes he's from Australia, then he's from the USA.
He's a damn New Yorker.
He's
Well.
probably from all over the world.
He never sounds like where he claims to be from.
I was thinking of adding a new section to bed life. Let me know what you think. But each week we'd have one lucky person give me a phone number. I would call them as Orzio Prey, and I could deliver whatever message you needed. You have a car dealer calling you that's saying you would say, "Hey, stop calling my friend. He doesn't want to buy your shitty car."
Bird.
Or
What accent is that?
You want me to propose to your girlfriend for you because
That
you're
is
not
French.
man enough to do so? I say, "Hey, Miss So-and-so, your boyfriend, Mr. Hoo, says he wants to marry you,
Oh,
What?
and you should come to Australia and get married to the whatevers, and you guys can
Whatevers.
have big wedding out here in the Outback, and we have
That's-
Outback special for everybody."
I think that's the worst Ozzy Prey I've heard.
That's not
$99 Outback special with blooming onion on the house.
Is that supposed to have been Australian?
Oh, it's Australian.
Oh my God.
God.
And
I
you
thought it
want
was
me to
Russian
call
to start with.
Chinese
I was gonna say-
restaurant for you.
There was a lot of Eastern European in there. I mean, so
There was-
I don't know
there was
what
some-
to-
Some
Yeah,
Russian,
hello.
some Asian, some.
Is this the Panda Garden? Yes, I'd like to order some panda.
Mute his mic.
What
Mute
do
his
you mean
mic.
you don't sell the panda? Your name is the Panda Garden. Well, I'd like to order a panda.
And
Darth
again,
Hasser
I'm
wants to know, is Bird
I'm
drunk?
from the koala garden.
What?
We could
fuck?
trade you koala.
God.
I don't know. 2 koalas, 2 pandas seems maybe fair.
Oh. No.
How many koalas do you want?
What have we unleashed on the world?
Oh, Lord.
Well,
I don't think we did it.
Nuclear secrets. Okay, I trade you 2 nuclear secrets for 1 panda.
What, you have nuclear
Now,
koalas?
the panda is going to be cooked, yes?
No.
Wesley
Okay,
Crusher wants to
then.
know, can Birdo Prey 5 do an easily Muslim woman from former USSR voice?
Boy, I'm easily a Muslim woman of the US.
God. Oh my God.
It's my wedding day today. I have a big surprise for husband.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That sounded a little bit like a birded Muslim woman from former USSR.
Pardon me.
I'm marrying William Shatner, my favorite Canadian.
Okay, Birdo Prey finally comes out as wanting to marry William Shatner. Oh dear God.
Well, it sounds very Krogan.
My
Matthew
God,
wants
man.
to kiss Leonard
What
Nimoy.
have I done?
Well, since he's gone, all he'd be doing is kissing his gravestone. So, I can think of worse.
He would probably dig up the body.
Oh my God.
No, and Matthew.
True.
Islin Burkholder says, I will pay for a voice message. I am in need of a ride to the laundromat. I will be washing a load of jeans and towels and a few shirts. In what? Aussie?
If he digs out Leonard Nimoy
In
to
Shatner?
kiss him, then he also needs to tell it to Rammstein because they probably want to make a song from it.
Einstein.
Not Einstein, Rammstein.
Rammstein. Rammstein Steamroller.
They think about that stuff, that kind of things.
Wesley says Bird is looking is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everyone can impersonate Arnold. Arnold kind of person say anything.
Well, Eastland.
Wesley, are you drunk?
Yeah, there's a lot of like predicates and subjects missing in that statement. A couple of adjectives are not there.
Depends on if he's on his phone or not.
Eastland, I'm not sure about it, but you can try to give us a better accent or a better Shatner accent if you come on the panel.
I am in need of a ride to laundromat. I will be washing a load of jeans and towels and a few shirts.
Okay, now you're going to be able to go back and clip it because, unfortunately, unless you know a website that you can do that on, you can't clip stuff on mine because, hey, I'm not even to 500 subscribers yet. You got to be a lot higher. So thankfully, the YouTube tool won't work for me. Yay!
No, there's still a way to do it.
Oh, there's still a way to do it, yes, but it's more complicated.
True.
It's just one more button if you're using the right browser.
True. And he was trying to make coffee and typing. So yeah, that coffee. Focus on coffee first, Wes. Coffee.
Coffee first.
And of course, speaking of coffee, this will make Eric Sonder happy.
Listen to me very carefully because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula.
If it was only a nebula. Good morning, Jedi Bill 797.
And now everyone is quiet.
That's what I was thinking, Mar. They're getting their coffee.
Probably.
Mr. Londell has a new chair.
Yes.
Cool.
Sweet.
I got a new chair recently as well. About a month ago.
You still can
reminds me. Anyone watch Prodigy yet?
Yes.
Yes.
I refuse to.
What's the question?
Have anyone watched Prodigy? I haven't even seen any actual reviews on YouTube.
Well, I haven't done any reviews because I couldn't get through any without coughing up a lung. But I've watched the first 3 episodes. It's actually not awful. I mean, it's not Star Trek, but
yeah,
it's
episode
not awful.
The first 2 episodes, which they played together back to back, is one story, and it felt more Star Wars than Star Trek. Third episode was a little more Star Trek-y. And it isn't bad. In fact, to me, it feels more Star Trek-y. I mean, okay. How can I say this? The attitude as far as being serious about it, it feels more Star Trek than Lower Decks. Lower Decks is just too gimmicky, funny, trying to be funny, which it always doesn't hit the mark with.
No.
Exactly. If ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it does, but it's just trying too hard to be a jokey Star Trek show. And to me, Star Trek is not a jokey show. And that's why Lower Decks doesn't work for me. It's not a comedy. It can have comedic elements. It can even have comedic episodes, but it's not a comedic series. And that's what Lower Decks is. And it just doesn't work for me.
Doesn't work for you, don't watch her movie. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about something else.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, but that honestly, Lower Decks is more Orville than it is Star Trek, except with trick tropes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Although it's more like episode 1 and 2 of the Orville than the rest of the Orville. I mean, the Orville started off that way, but it went more Star Trek-like as it went. And honestly, the best episodes of Lower Decks, and there were only like 2 or 3 of them, really toned down the comedy and went more with the Star Trek seriousness.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing today?
Hey, Geek.
Oh, I just got banned from a gas station this morning.
How the hell do you manage that?
Oh, okay. So here's the story. Give me a couple of minutes. Let me explain how this happened. So last night I went up to the gas station, the same gas station, to grab some beer. So there's a long line. There's only one person working there. I look and in the beer thing, and like the beer I want isn't there. Well, I've gone to other places and just gone in the back cooler, grabbed the beers, paid for them, and left. Well, I did the same thing here. And the owner, this is what really was fucked up. The owner comes out after I'm in my truck with my wife with me, no doubt, and comes out and just has this look of vile anger. And trust me, customer service at this place has been shit. and the owner is a bitch, just a flat out bitch. She comes out to my truck and goes, "Don't ever go in the back of my freaking fridge again. I have a sign up." I'm like, "You should have asked the employee." I'm like, "Your employee was busy. I didn't know you were there." And she's like, "Well, I have a sign up." And I was just like, this is not how you go about this. What should have been in customer service is, "Excuse me, sir. Please, in the future, do not go in the back of the cooler to grab beer. Ask the service personnel, I have a sign up. Maybe you missed it. Thank you. Have a great day." Something like that. But that's not what happened. So I go back this morning to grab the beer I'm going to get, and I see that the owner's mother is there, because I was going to have a talk with the owner herself, but the owner's mother was there because she works there. And I'm like, I'm going to play this smart. I'm going to get my beer ahead of time because I have a feeling how this conversation is about to go. So I paid for my beer and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I was very polite and I was very calm. And I said, "Your daughter's the owner, right? Okay, I need to have a talk with her when she's in about last night and the way she approached me." I said it was poor customer service skills. And I said, "I understand I went in the back and I wasn't supposed to. I was trying." And the first words out of her mother's mouth was, "I don't care." I'm like, "You don't care about customer service?" And she just starts yelling at me, and I start getting heated with her, and she basically is like, "Get out!" I'm like, "I'm leaving." She goes, "Never come back." I was like, I wasn't planning on to. This place ain't worth putting up with y'all's bullshit.
Yeah, you haven't been officially banned. Just been told not to come back. When they add you to the official ban list, your picture will be up.
Yeah,
I
your
have a
picture
feeling
behind the cash
I mean,
register. Do not serve this guy. That's not
Oh,
up by
I
tonight.
wouldn't.
You're good.
Why didn't I pay attention to the sign, Super Blubberpuss? Honestly, because the sign, there's only one sign on that fridge, and it's half torn off. That's the honest truth. Now, look, I understand I made an error. I understand I made a mistake, but there was a whole plethora of different ways to go about that than to berate a regular customer. Because I used to frequent that store sometimes 2-3 times. I'd take my kids up there, we'd get stuff. So I was a regular customer. And even if I wasn't, that's not how you treat people.
Nope.
You're the goddamn owner of the store. You were the manager. It's no wonder some of the people have quit. I mean, I already had enough to deal with when I'd go in and deal with Red Hat Lady. And that's what I call her, because guess what? None of them wear a fucking name tag. And I'm like, so I never learned anybody's name. And it was just like, this lady, the Red Hat Lady, is always in a bad mood, always upset. And at one point in time, I had to tell her she was scanning some stuff, and she's like, "Fuck." And then she's like, "Fuck." And I'm like, "Can you watch your mouth in front of my 11-year-old daughter?" I was just like, I'm done putting up with you guys. And I left, and I said, "You guys ain't worth the bullshit."
Well, that reminds me of there was a time when the local Walmart was actually good. There was only one woman on the registers, and this woman was a bitch, and she was known to be a bitch. So I went to the manager. I said, "Is there any way you can open up another line?" "Well, you can go to so-and-so's line." I said, "I don't like her." Well, there's self-pay. I don't trust self-pay. I'd like somebody else on the floor, please. Well, funny thing was, person behind me, "Oh, thank you. I was about to ask that myself." So I wasn't the only one. And trust me, that line filled up fast.
Because we don't want to deal with poor customer service. It's disgusting. You are there to provide a service. You need to be respectful to your customers. Now, if the customer gets belligerent with you, that's one thing. But you being belligerent to the customer, that's bullshit.
Exactly.
I had you brought up a good point, Captain Trek, about a Walmart. I had one time when I was taking my daughter, Trisha, and I was buying her clothes, and we were going to try them on. And I took her to.
You were gonna try your daughter's clothes on. Okay.
No. No, that's not where you know what I meant. No, she is to try them on, and there is two different things. There's a woman's section and a men's section. Well, I took her over to the men's section because then I knew I could go in with her because there was no family section at that time.
Right.
And the lady's like, "You've got to go to the one section." I'm like, "But you won't allow me in there. I need to be in here with my daughter so I can see her try on these clothes," because she was only 4 years old at the time. And the lady was like, "Well, you can't do that." I'm like, "Why not?" "Well, it's policy." And then I just jumped on her. I said, "Show me the policy. Go in the back." She's like, "What?" So go in the back, bring your policy book out and show it to me. Show me where it says that. And I said, "If you don't let me in here to do this, your regional manager and your directorial manager are both up on that board, and I'll be calling them for this bullshit." Guess what? The lady let me in and let my daughter put on some clothes.
Yeah, she outright lied to you. If they're under 5, they have to be accompanied by an adult. At least up here, they won't allow children that young into the dressing rooms by themselves.
No. Nor should they.
And the reason why I took over to the men's section versus the ladies section is because the whole point of the ladies' changing room is they don't want men over there, and I was trying to be accommodating. I'm a male. I'm of a certain age. I'm with my daughter. I'm trying to buy her fucking clothes. She needs to try them on.
Yes.
And you're trying to tell me you have a policy? And I'm like, "Oh, you better show me the fucking policy." And then they couldn't do it. And I was like, "Then you're full of shit," basically.
I'm sorry, that makes no sense.
I agree.
Makes absolutely no sense. What if you were the only parent?
Exactly.
Right.
It's like
and at the time you were the only parent with her.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was the one taking her to buy clothes. Yeah, it was just, oh God. Just this morning was so funny. Last night and this morning were so goddamn funny. I was just like, you people suck at customer service. You know, I may be an asshole, but at least I learned customer service.
I mean,
and good morning, Jerry.
When your employees are ran by fear. Employees fear their employers. Employers set rules. It's not about the customer anymore. It's about the employer that tells you what you can and cannot do as an employee.
It's very easy to get customer service out of fear.
Brings up a good point. What about 2 male gay parents? That's a perfect example right there. By the way, that's not a problem anymore because they do have those, family changing rooms now. But they didn't have them at that time.
Not all of them do.
No, most of them don't have changing rooms, period, anymore.
That's true.
All the Walmarts and Targets here, they just pull them all out.
It's fine. It's the same damn thing, just called a different thing. There's no difference. Changing room's a changing room.
Well, you know what I had to do? I got bitched out a couple of times because I took my daughter in the women's bathroom to change her diaper. And they were like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" I was like, "What the fuck does it look like? I'm changing my daughter's diaper." Guess what wasn't in the men's bathroom? A changing table. I'm not putting my daughter on a goddamn floor.
Yeah, that is funny, actually.
You don't fuck with Papa Bear. I don't understand. You know, my wife, when I talked to my wife about this too, she said, you know, since I've moved up here, I love living here, but I really miss Southern hospitality. Because customer service over here in Indiana, for the most part, sucks ass.
Sucks everywhere right now, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was something that my wife said since COVID, people have really got poor customer service skills.
All right, having some issues. Let me refresh. I'll be right back.
All right,
way before COVID.
Somebody take over.
Good morning, Sherry.
It must have been at least 10 years now that I used to be able to go into a Home Depot and actually have somebody who has handyman experience.
That's why I generally try to go to an Ace, because I've always
mom and pops, yeah, like not mom and pop, but like I know what you're saying, like the smaller branches that actually like hire people who have experience in the field. I agree. Same things goes with like pizza joints, right? You can't go to the big boy pizza joints if you want really good pizza. You got to go to the smaller pizza shops that actually care about making their fucking pizza, because the big boys, they don't give a shit. You know, I went and complained when I got a shit pizza, and I mean I got a shit pizza from Papa John's, and I went to complain, and instead of actually hearing the complaint, this cracked me up. Instead of actually hearing the complaint so they can know where they screwed up, fix it, and make sure it doesn't happen again, he cut me off just to say, I'll give your money back.
That
he didn't
wasn't the point
about what was wrong.
You got a shit pizza from Papa John's. That's actually doing very well for Papa John's.
Well, one of the things I had one time, I had a pizza I bought that was doughy. Hey, Darius. I had a pizza that was doughy in the center and it wasn't fully cooked. And I called and complained about that. And they're like, tough shit. I'm like, well, you just lost the customer, motherfucker. And this place lost the customer to me. So they've lost the, $100 or so I normally spend in a month to go over there.
I got one for you. I just recently ordered a sandwich from an online company, Chick-fil-A, which they set up their menu that if you did not ask for a bun, the sandwich you got did not come with the bun. You had to ask for the bun. But the way they put it on the thing, the way they put it on their clicking, on the menus, online menu, you wouldn't think that you would have to click, I want a bun, when you clicked on, I want a sandwich. So I thought they were asking me, did you want like a non-gluten, like different types of bun?
Yeah.
But in the different types of bun, they didn't default check the regular bun you're supposed to get in the first place. So if you don't do that and you order any sandwich from Chick-fil-A from their online thing, you're not going to get a bun on the sandwich.
Now, you see, Chick-fil-A has really good customer service. So
no, they don't.
Probably.
I called them.
Let me say this. Any Chick-fil-A I have ever been at has had good customer service. So it sounds like yours is.
I heard they had better customer service. I've heard stories where they had better customer service. But I am telling you what happened to me days ago. And when I called them, they said they can't resolve it. Because the receipt.
Yeah, they can. You go in and you put default. Yeah, you can. You go call your webmaster, and you say, "Hey, I need you to put in there in the radio button, default bun." Why would they assume you wouldn't want a bun? I mean, who wants a sandwich without a bun? I mean,
you should select. You don't want a bun, not that you do want a bun. That's the
I agree with you, Cap. Yeah, I agree with you, Cap.
I think he hit the wrong button in the first place.
From my experience,
I think he hit the wrong button in the first place, LD.
Yeah, of course. I knew you'd say that.
I've ordered from them a lot, and I've never had that problem.
I've never had that problem with Chick-fil-A.
Telling you,
I wish they worked those Sundays. Okay,
4 days ago. You might have not ordered.
Yeah,
from the
that's
same
always the
thing.
problem. You know what, Mr. Lundell? Anytime I normally think about getting Chick-fil-A, it's always
on
I'm up
Sunday.
there on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was this from the Chick-fil-A website or a third-party website?
No, it was from Uber Eats.
So then your problem's with Uber Eats, not Chick-fil-A.
No, it isn't because Uber Eats.
Yes, it is.
Uber Eats
No,
doesn't
Uber
just.
Eats is the ones who make that site. Chick-fil-A had no input on how they
Yes,
designed
they
that
of course
site.
they do. That's not how Uber Eats works, guys. Uber Eats just you cannot order anything from Uber Eats. Uber Eats doesn't just make menu items for other restaurants. You have to sign up with Uber Eats to set up a menu. There is a person responsible at the head of whatever the fuck at Chick-fil-A who manages the Uber Eats profile. They're the ones who set up the Uber. Yes, that's how Uber Eats
goes
works.
to multiple different places. Uber Eats is a completely separate company.
Yeah,
it's a separate company that works in
Their
association
webpage on
with the
Uber
companies
Eats.
that they.
The
They
Uber
work in
Eats
I
sets that
understand
page.
They have an agreement. No,
that
they
I
have
tell
an
y'all
agreement
he
that-
fucked up.
Okay.
Did I tell y'all he
Bird.
fucked up?
Cap. Go.
I understand that somebody at Chick-fil-A should have approved or inputted the data into Uber Eats for their menu. I get that. But you should have contacted Uber Eats. They probably would have resolved your issue and apologized or refunded you. And then they would have contacted Chick-fil-A if they're getting 50, 20, 20, 30 people a day complaining about these orders. They would contact Chick-fil-A and say, hey, you've got a problem here we need to resolve.
But
You
here's the
calling
magical thing.
Chick-fil-A, they have no idea how Uber works, most of them. They just know that Uber took the order and you go to Uber. Why would you even
Okay, so here's
go
the thing. This
Chick-fil-A?
is where you ask questions first before just assuming, Bird. I called both. I told both. Because it's two sides to every coin. Either Uber Eats fixes it or
You didn't
Chick-fil-A
say
fixes
that,
it. There's
LDG.
Well, I wasn't finished my story. You guys literally interrupted me in the middle of me telling the story.
Okay. All right, everybody, shush. The floor is yours, sir.
No, that was it. I called both of them and I told both of them. I asked for a refund from both
Which
Chick-fil-A
one did you call
and
first?
Uber Eats. Huh?
Which one did you call first?
I called Chick-fil-A first. The store. I called the store
Wrong.
first. They routed me to corporate. I talked to corporate. And then I called. They said, "Well, you have to do this to Uber Eats." I told them, "No, you're mistaken. You guys have to fix this." But I will call Uber Eats after this phone call. Then I immediately freaking contacted Uber Eats. I did the file a complaint. Told them what happened, what I got. Didn't get a refund or nothing. No message back. No email back. Nothing.
How long after was it between the time you received the order and the time you contacted
30
Uber?
minutes.
30 minutes? Okay, because I understand because it's automated. Uber Eats. You go to your order that you placed.
You click help.
You click help.
Click report your order. Yes, I know. The whole nine yards.
Missing item or
missing
whatever
item.
is missing.
Explanation.
Or problem. Yeah, they say take a picture or something if
Yep.
you need to.
Yep.
And then they generally say, okay, we can refund you X amount of money.
Nope. They didn't do it. No refund. No nothing.
And when did this happen?
Like 4 or 5 days ago when I ordered. I was in the backstage. People were in the backstage when it happened because I was screaming in the backstage when it happened. How the fuck? Who was in the? Who was Mr. Lundell? Were you there when I was bitching
There's
about?
your problem. You were screaming.
I can't remember. I was probably
Someone
if I
was
was
there.
there,
A
I
couple
was
people in there. It happened. Yeah. So anyway,
Darren
Anyway, let's segue out of this. I have a question for all of you. I have a question for all you guys. Have you seen what's going on Twitter to Chris Pratt?
That's been off and on for months.
Yeah,
and months.
No, this was ridiculous.
The thing about his wife is just the new version of it.
Yeah.
Well, what I saw was, and I did a rant on it a minute ago when I I went live for a second and just did a quick rant on it. And basically the whole bitching part is he's looking at the camera and his wife's looking at him. I'm like, I've seen many couples where pictures are done like that. Who's to say that they didn't do another picture where they were both looking at each other and both going back? I'm like, what is your hatred? And I think it's because of jealousy. These people are fucking miserable, unhappy little fucking cunts that just can't stand the fact that other people are happy.
You're just not figuring this out.
No.
You just, look, I mean,
I figured it
that's
out.
what. That's what.
I just haven't articulated it.
That's what 99% of this is. Okay, 20-something. You know, they got a shitty degree. They can't find a job. They owe $100,000 worth of student loans. All they can do is sit on the damn phone. They don't even have a PC. They do everything on the fucking telephone that mama's paying for. Okay, come on. You know what? And they bitch, and they get mad, because Chick-fil-A shuts down at the airport on Sunday. They claim victory. Asshole, it's always closed on Sunday because of who owns it.
Really, Mr. Lundell, you actually saw an article that said that?
Yeah, it was a year or so ago. Yeah, they were bitching about Chick-fil-A at an airport, and it was closed on a Sunday, and they were like claiming victory. I mean, everybody had to remind them Chick-fil-A's are all closed on Sundays.
Is that the one that had something to do with the drive-through issue? Someone bitched at a drive-through about something.
It might have been. I don't know. Just
Look, I'll tell you what. I've been, all the fast food places I've ever been. Chick-fil-A is always the busiest and still the fastest I can get through. Their customer service is fantastic. That should be the model. The other fast food chains should emulate.
And that's been my experience, Geek. That's been my experience.
I should have got myself a free fucking sandwich, but whatever.
But what I'm saying is, when it comes to Chick-fil-A, what you'll have is, when I was in South Carolina, the most popular place to go was the Chick-fil-A. The food was always good. They got your order right. Hell, I can't stand McDonald's because anytime I ask for an unsweet tea, I have to actually sip the damn thing ahead of time to make sure I didn't get a sweet tea.
See, ours was different. Ours was Denny's because they were always open later, like late night. We used to always go to Denny's, especially after school, after prom, after homecoming. Denny's was the place to go.
We didn't have a Denny's in my hometown, but when a lot of us, when we got off of work at Shoney's and it was a late night, we'd actually still be in uniform, go to the IHOP across the street, have some coffee. Some of us would have some food. We'd decompress for about an hour and then we'd all go home. And this was a regular thing because, IHOP was open 24/7.
I'm missing Maddie. Carla.
Kronos, I am not here.
Oh, man.
But the whole point is I used to, when I used to go to this IHOP in Florida, there was this one server. She was fantastic. I always paid her a great tip. She was always great. And anytime we came in, we wanted to make sure she was our server. We wanted her. Right. And the day I found out, we went back, found out one day she had quit that job and went somewhere to this other place. I was like, well, I guess I'm going over there. And we did. We went over there and saw her. And it was like, you had the best customer service of anybody I've ever seen. She was the most professional, most appropriate and articulate and really cared. And I was like, I knew her by name. She knew us by. She knew all my kids by name. I could walk in at one point, I could walk into that IHOP. They wouldn't even bother asking me. They're like, you want this person. Okay, we're going to seat you over to this person. Because they knew who we preferred. That's called professionalism. That's called customer service.
Welcome back, Cap.
Thank you.
Yeah, I miss those days. You don't see those days very often now.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Well,
that's why I go above and beyond for my clients, man. I still hold customer service number one when I'm dealing with people, even if it's freaking at the risk of losing profit.
Yeah, but in the long term, it gains you profit because
sometimes.
If you give quality, you'll get the quantity. If you just bring the quantity, there's no guarantee of the quality.
That's the way it should be, but that's not the way it is, aka
the quality of your work is what defines you. Like I said, the guy who did my son's, finished my son's dresser area, closet. I was having a brain fart there. He did a good job. Here's the problem. He left his trash and basically just threw it in my trailer. And I told my wife when she told me, I was like, what's with this drywall in my trailer? She's like, yeah, the guy who did this, he threw it in there. I'm like, we ain't never hiring that motherfucker again. That's just rude and unprofessional. Your work may be good, but your professionalism sucks. Sorry, I want professionalism and I want quality work for what I'm paying for. It was bad enough the guy asked me for half the money up front before he even finished the job because he put the baseboards in. And I'm like, okay, I'll work with you on this one. I'll meet you halfway. But to go and just take the excess drywall that you brought and throw it in my trailer. Cat must be having some
again. You're under the delusion that the direction of capitalism and companies means that they have to listen to their people. They have to listen to their customers. It doesn't work that way anymore. That's not the way it's built anymore. It's reverse.
It's never worked that way.
It did work that way back in the day.
It becomes incumbent upon you as a business owner to listen to your customers. Yeah. It's not a rule that you're supposed to listen. You do that because you want that customer to come back.
Nothing's a rule. There is no rule.
But I mean, seriously, I wanted this guy. He did good work, and we wanted to talk about hiring him back, but just throwing that shit in my trailer, I'm sorry, but no. Yeah, I told my wife, I said, we'll find somebody else for anything in the future. But I was like, I'm not using this guy again. When I had the guy who mowed my lawn back in South Carolina, he was retired Air Force, very professional. He actually broke one of our little pools, and he went and took the time to try and find the replacement for it, and then he brought it to us and said, "I'm very sorry, I could not find the exact model that we destroyed, but this was the closest thing I could find." I said, "Well, thank you." And one time when I was at the house, I had my dogs outside, and I didn't realize after he cut the grass that him or his partner did not close my fence, which normally he did. I mean, he knew how to open it. He knew how to fix it. And I told him about that. And I remember, eventually my dogs came back and everything was kosher. But I remember him telling me, and I said, "Hey, it was an accident. I get it." And he owned up to it. I said, "I don't know if it was you or your partner." He goes, "It was me. It's on me." And I remember when I texted him, and I remember what he told me when I did it. He goes to his wife and he goes, "I didn't close the gate and their dogs are out." And she's like, "Well, you just lost a customer." He's like, "I don't care about that. I care about the puppies." And I told him, I said, "Hey, everything's good. Everything's kosher. We're fine." because I trusted the guy. He made an error, but he was such a good worker and such good customer service that I didn't feel this one mistake should be defining my business with him. That makes any sense.
No, it should have defined your business with him. How he reacted to it should have defined it. Whether it's
that is exactly it. How he reacted to it. And then I told him, I texted him, I said, hey, the dogs are both back. Everything's good. And I said, if you still want to, you are welcome to still you're still welcome to do your service on my lawn. And the next time I saw him, he was like, I am so sorry. I mean, he was generally, you could hear it in him. He was very genuinely sorry about it. And that's why I kept him on, because I trusted him. He made an error, but he owned up to it. That's the mark of a good professional person, when you own up to your mistakes. Cap, is everything okay with you, your connections?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, things are fine now.
Okay, good. You've just been popping in and out. We've been getting a little concerned.
No problem. No problem. Now.
Much fun. We got CNA stream in an hour?
I don't know.
I don't see any.
Resolute Germ, you streaming today?
Should be tonight.
Tonight. Okay.
Yeah. 5 p.m. Pacific tonight.
Oh, by the way.
It's Rhapsody in Blue.
Hey, I want to say this. Now that we're back on standard time, can we please fucking stay there?
I wish.
Did you guys watch Nerdgasm last night?
I saw part of it.
I don't know who does that.
It was funny as fucking hell. You don't know who does that? Me?
No, I don't know who does that stream.
I
don't know who does that
me.
stream. Oh, you.
Okay. Saturday
You
night.
should have said. You should have led with. Did anybody see my stream, Nerdgasm?
I was leaving it open.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of it. I was on a stream with the ambassador yesterday for a little while, and it was late. It was like 9 o'clock, and apparently the consensus I was getting from several of our peers was that Eternals is not a bad movie.
Sucks. It sucks.
And why is it losing money?
Because it sucks. Anyway, what I was saying, last night's topic was what would you do if you had full creative control over your own adult film, and what would it be? So if you guys are interested in that, check out Late Night Nerdgasm. We went for like 5 hours. Had a huge panel. Everybody was popping up. We even had a new
I would not have been there because I don't discuss my sex life.
Not your sex life. What would you do if you had creative control over adult film? That's it.
Exactly. I said I don't talk about my sex life.
It has nothing to do with your sex life.
You don't have to star in it and be geek. You're the director.
No.
I'm just
saying I don't talk about my preferences, my desires, or whatever. So that would have been a subject. I would have been like, yeah, this
That's
is
fine. And but if you want to hear
anybody else, just doesn't talk about the X-rated stuff.
In other words, NB Geek is a prude, and he doesn't talk about sex.
That's fine. Hey, that's fine. It's each their own. That's your diversity. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. That's beautiful. Anywho, a number of people came on last night and told us what there was. A few big ones, like I said, was Meme of Destruction had a great one. Bruce Lombardo had an excellent one. Couldn't stop laughing my ass off. So if you guys want to check out last night's stream, it was definitely one of the best streams.
Just out of curiosity, what would you say about Yvette's one? I kind of fell asleep while listening to the stream.
Yvette's was interesting. She went into great detail. I mean, everyone had a really good story. I mean, Resolute Joe. Was it Rezo or it was no. It was
That was not on the stream.
not you. The other one. I keep confusing you with damn. Who's the other guy? JP's had one. Cockney Spock had one. I had one. Yeah, so everybody on the panel, pretty much 90% of the panel had one. The two ones I remember specifically were that were really good were Memes of Destruction and Bruce Lombardo, man, was 10 out of 10 funny. So yeah, we had a lot of blasts. We also talked about your favorite TV shows that you like to see a good adult film from, and they weren't just mentioned Star Trek, so there were some other ones in there. Yvette went into her version of Supernatural version of an adult film. And then Maddie was on too. Maddie stole the show last night. So for anything you want to watch it for Maddie. Yeah, and we went pretty deep into the night. So good show. It's a good show. Anywho, that's all I wanted to say about that. So check out Nerdgasm, guys.
Well, that's if you're not a prude into, whatever, open conversation. But, some folks have different tastes. That's fine. That's why we all have different channels.
I liked my scare tactics. Mine had to do with making a scare tactics adult film, which was pretty funny, I thought. Scaring the shit out of people while they orgasm.
And thank you, Darius, for the
mask off.
Sorry, what? What, Bird?
Sorry, Cap. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go, Bird.
I thought the way he was going to scare people was to pull the mask off at that moment.
Yeah, no. I'm a little bit more in detail than that.
Bunch of police sirens start going off. A banner comes down. She's actually 15.
She was born a he.
Yeah, we had that in Animal House.
Oh,
that's not illegal anymore.
Anyway, let's see here. What do we got going on? I don't see a set time for Vile Mike yet. We're finally going to have a full CNA stream today. Yay.
Maybe.
Well, it should be. Oh, you mean if he actually streams, you mean? Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, because there's no Jet Nerdy scheduled if he does. Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious, dude. Oh my god. So, did you have anybody from the alt feed? Did anybody from alt feed come in yet?
I don't know yet.
What I'm talking about? Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So last night, guys, I met a new community on YouTube, starting with this channel called Alt Feed, in which both me and Captain went over there and said, "What's up?" It's a nice little community. They had like 15 people watching. Met some interesting peeps, including a couple other YouTube channels. One in particular, Latino. What was that? Legal Latino Heat. So that guy
yes, Legal Latino Heat. You're right.
Legal Latino Heat, man. I can't wait to see his stream. Matter of fact, I thought, shit, I think he said he was streaming in the morning. I might have missed it. But a couple others as well. And I introduced myself. Their first taste of our circle was me. And I think I did a very good first impression. They liked me. Captain Trek then came on, and got to chill out with these guys and get a little promotion. Got a few subs from it, and a couple of them came to Nerdgasm last night and checked out Nerdgasm. Pretty much stayed the entire time. Link please, LDG. Just look up Alt. I'm on my laptop right now. I gotta get to my computer. It was Alt Feed, AltFeed, Alt Feed, and Legal Latino Heat, 3 words. There's a couple others too, but those are the two that stuck out. Already found. Okay, got it. Yeah. So we might have a few new people in the community on our shows, on my show, on Captain. See if we can spread them across the board to Birds and Rezo and I know a few of them do Odyssey. So Mr. Londell's got some opportunity there to meet some new people. They're an older community set up by some older gentlemen. Now, some of them are senior citizens, but when I'm older, I mean, you're not going to find like 20-year-olds. And they were talking about whatever. We were talking about free speech. We were talking about politics. I actually had a politics talk that didn't go off the fucking rails. That was awesome.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about movies. We talked a little bit about a number of different things. And they were quite friendly when I mentioned I had a show and I was going to stream. And they were quite friendly and had a blast. Yeah. So check them out. They do a show every Saturday, I think they said. Was Saturday at like 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, called the International Pub. So we might have a new pub in the house, open panel. They put the StreamYard link right in there, and we had a good time. I only wanted to go there for like 20 minutes, ended up staying there for like 3 fucking hours. And we just kept talking about shit. Some really good people. Had a good time. Wasn't boring. It wasn't toxic, and I thought they were gonna like kick me as soon as I started talking about like Prometheus and shit, which I didn't. Well, I mentioned it once, but no, they were quite engaging.
It was quite, it was quite a different experience. I liked it. That's kind of why my attitude really changed, and I happened to get that Twitter message from somebody, and yeah, I'm gonna give the attention. By the way, LDG, since you're on the panel, I'll go ahead and ask you. I need a clip celebrating every time I get an Aussie upvote.
Okay, cool. Well, kind of like I don't want to use that example because that guy can kiss my ass. Like a super chat, kind of the super chat.
Yeah.
And have Ozzy Crane narrate it.
Oi, we got one. Bird, were you willing to record something for me?
I recorded, but not that, because
not that.
I honestly don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, we can think about something backstage, or unless there's a clip from a movie or something you want to use.
So there is going to be a Twilight Zone today.
The Twilight Zone? Oh, good.
Yeah, Twilight Zone set up.
Awesome.
We're all in the Twilight Zone.
Well, you are now. So my first attempt to screw up Darius failed, but he told me later today that my unintentional second attempt worked. For those of you who weren't watching the stream on Thursday, I think it was, we were over on a channel called Dalek Fiva, and where the conversation went into my possible belief, one of my beliefs that there being a possibility that everyone is just me and I am everyone. And I told him, I said, well, the next time you have fun with your girlfriend on Friday, just remember that's me in there. And I wanted to fuck up his experience a little bit. He said, that he successfully concluded his night without thinking about me. And I was like, oh crap. Oh, well, I was thinking maybe subjectively or subliminally you would think about me. And then he messaged me this morning because I fell asleep during your stream when I was on another channel this morning, and I was in his dream. So he dreamed about me today. I was like, oh yeah, man, good shit. Didn't even try.
Normally we would call that a nightmare.
Yeah. So I hacked his dreams. Anybody else who dreams about me, have fun.
Anybody else dreams about him, seek psychological help.
No comment.
So I guess you stepped away, or you would have commented by now.
I can thankfully say that I'm glad I don't believe what you do, because that would just make me vomit. Yeah.
If anyone bought into that, the birth rate would be plummeting faster than it already is.
Exactly. The birth rate would be none.
I have to agree with you there, Resolute.
Oh, there's Darius. What's going on, Darius? Hey, man. Like I said, it goes both ways. So don't think of it just like I'm you, but I'm you. Like that goes both ways. Not that you're me.
It goes no ways.
If that were any sort of accurate,
you may believe
reason for the human race to go away.
You may believe this. I'm not going to disregard that. Okay. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. And I'm not you. You're not me. You don't know what it's like to be me. Don't claim you do.
Exactly, Cap.
Okay. I don't hear you talking about constant pain, because I'm in constant fucking pain. And I started the stream to be a positive place, but you know what? Okay, fuck this. LDG, goodbye. Now we can continue on with a more sane course.
Thank you for bringing sanity to the stream, Cap.
So, how is everyone this morning? I've been very bad and ignored the chat. I do apologize for that. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you all have had a good morning so far. Those of you who came over from Andy Truckers, thank you. Those of you who joined in on other places, thank you for joining. Anyone who hasn't, go ahead, leave a like, please. Or whatever you want to do. Hey, interaction's interaction.
True words.
So how have you been, Mar? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I haven't. Pretty fine so far. Well, it's nice. Well, one of my best and oldest friends' birthday today. 47 years old. And I know him for 45 years.
You're dating yourself, Mar.
No, I'm not dating myself. Why would I? I know me too well. We wouldn't go along, me and myself.
Well, you're using a different meaning of the word date.
Also true, yes. But as I say, I wouldn't go out with myself because I know myself too well. And
Mar, you're doing that on purpose.
Couldn't go along with myself.
Well, let's put it this way. What about carbon dating?
What?
I wonder how old you would be if we were to carbon date you.
Oh, 45 years in this body.
Yeah.
In this
The only
body.
one carbon dating is going to work on is Salty Trekker, because if it's not 100 years old, it kind of gets a little iffy.
Well, I asked him this morning if he knew Adam and Eve.
That's true.
And let's be honest, he did. He's the one
Well,
who
he
advised. He gave them the recipe for apple pie.
Oh, that makes him the serpent.
He did not answer me.
No.
Did you expect him to?
No.
Sorry, I just got a message. Missed I something? Did I miss something?
You missed everything, Mar. You'll have to back
That's-
up and listen.
That's me. See, that's why I don't get along with me. I miss too much.
And
Yes, Kronos. It's the Bird of Prey 5 XXX channel.
Yeah, you can
And
see
thank
the
you,
speed there.
Darius. Thank you, Darius, for dropping links before you go to work. Hopefully you have a good day at work. Don't work too hard. Kronos, you know better than that.
Yes, of course he does. Bird of Prey 5 XXX page exclusively on the hub.
I'm glad I don't visit that site at all. So
I've heard of it. Don't go there. No, thank you. No, Kronos, he's gone to work.
we can only imagine what's going on at NB Geek's house.
I would say conversation, but I don't want to hear.
Looks like it. Looks like it.
And the cats and the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon.
When you coming home, son, I don't know when. But
We
we'll
will
get
be
together then.
then.
See, the problem, Mars, you sound too good singing it. Otherwise, that's why Bird of Prey 5 never gets a content match, because nobody wants to claim it. Nobody.
You think they want to claim me? Me? of
They
all
would
people.
claim you, yes, because you sound too good. With Bird, however, it'd be like if they were claiming that. No, that would just be wrong. And yes, Mr. Lundell's Odyssey channel. Thank you very much, Darius.
Appreciate it, Darius.
Definitely check out Mr. Lundell's Odyssey site, particularly since YouTube or cunts and kicked him off.
Everyone claim your Odyssey now, because
Yeah.
it's maybe a year or two, but eventually that axe is coming for all of us.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Darius. But if you're gonna post channels for me, put up history with R&R, if you would,
And
or a question of Trek, one or
Thank
the
you.
other, or both.
Resolute, it may not take a year. Because
I think he's being generous.
yeah.
Oh yeah, generously a year, more than likely January.
I mean, because Warner Brothers has been doing the same thing that CBS has been doing. Just anything that mentions some of their products, starting to try to claim it, especially since Dune has been released. There are like 3 channels that are like heavy hitters when it comes to the new Dune movie, and they've all been complaining about that. Warner Brothers, I mean, just any image they're claiming.
Well, they're desperate to blame someone for it not making as much money as they thought it should be.
Now it's making the money,
but not what they thought it should be. It's not the huge blockbuster they wanted it to be. It's only doing relatively mediocre. It's making profit, but it's
not necessarily. It made its money back in Europe. It made its money back in Europe. So
I think part of that is COVID still.
Here in Europe, we watch every bullshit that comes out.
Yeah, I'd like to see it too, Kronos. I've not seen the new Dune movie.
HBO Max, people.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it at the theater, just for the theatrical experience.
Yeah. I wanted to, but I'm not sitting in a theater wearing a fucking mask. I'm not doing it.
I went and watched Star Trek 4 for its anniversary viewing back in August at the theater. Didn't wear a mask at all during the movie.
Well, I thought that with the new Dune, they spent too much time on the visuals and not so much time on the actual story, or getting it forward, so to speak.
Thank you, Darius. Appreciate that.
My issue is they left stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. The sound modules was missing.
Well,
Liet. They changed Liet.
That was, to me, that's my really big gripe. Changing kinds. But the one scene in the book when you're introduced to the Atreides family, and then you go into the Harkonnen, and you have the Baron, Piter, and Fade, and Piter is discussing the plot that's about to happen, filling Fade in on it.
Yeah.
See, that was the first introduction that we got of Fade Routher. They didn't do that. That should have been there.
And now I have to watch the second part just because I want to know who the fuck plays Fade Rota. Because Baron of Harkonnen calls him the beautiful Fade. And I would like to know which actor they choose for that.
And how is he going to be beautiful if you look at the Harkonnens? They're all like bald and pale and sickly looking.
I mean, I think that Sting really portrayed Fade Rota pretty well. He was fitting in.
But they were all too damn old.
Also true.
Because Fade was only like 2-3 years older than Paul, actually, in the books.
Probably we'll see, maybe not. Who cares? At this point.
Well, no, they got the fight sequences right, I think.
Well, I think it's always going. There's definitely going to be a split thing. People aren't going to necessarily like it.
Well, as I said, Dune had its good parts. For example, the ornithopters. They looked beautiful.
Oh, that was genius.
That was genius, exactly. Didn't like the carryalls that much, but I'm not really sure how they was portrayed in the books.
No,
be
it's
quite
just a big flying thing that grabbed the harvester and lifted it up.
Yeah,
So
and
a
I
runner
don't.
couldn't get it.
And what I didn't like about the carry-alls in the new Dune movie was the balloon things.
Yeah, that didn't look like it would work.
Exactly, it didn't look like they would lift anything.
I mean,
beyond their own weight.
it was already flying. Okay, it comes on, grabs the harvester, and then all these balloons pop up and it lifts. No. Okay.
Hey, Cap, I want to
Mhm.
say I want to say I apologize. I thought I had stopped my camera and muted while my wife was talking to me about stuff.
Muted, fortunately, yes. Muted, yes. Camera, no.
And I apologize for that. I thought I had hit both of them, and I wasn't looking at the chat. I was muted.
Yeah.
I had everything muted, so I could
No,
talk directly to my wife. She had an issue she wanted to talk to me about at her
Yep.
school, and I was focused on what she was saying. So I apologize for not
No problem.
the camera. That was my mistake.
No problem, and we couldn't hear anything. We just saw you do. You got a great beating there, which was pretty fine. We started bets, as you can see in the comments.
It wasn't an argument. No. Guys, it wasn't an argument or a conversation. My wife wanted me to proofread something she was sending out to the parents of one of the children.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going through that. And that was just, it turned into a very long conversation. And I muted because I can't mute this. So I muted my TV. And so I couldn't hear you guys at all because I wanted to focus on what my wife was saying. And that was
That's
the
probably
conversation.
good. We were poking fun at you.
Oh, hey, if you want to have fun at my expense, go right ahead. You know I have no problem with that. But I do apologize I thought I stopped the camera.
I just should have kicked you sooner.
So what do you guys thought? Did I hear you guys were talking about Dune?
No.
Yeah,
I don't know where you got that idea.
Gone.
Oh, no. I don't know what the conversation's ever. Kronos asked, what's behind you on the shelf? A lot, actually.
Do we have an hour or two, maybe three?
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to display my prized possession here.
You need a vehicle Voltron.
No.
Screw vehicle Voltron. That's the real Voltron right there. All the others are petty impersonations.
When I went to the toy store, it was so funny because it was Halloween time, and I grabbed the Jason mask, and then I looked up on the top shelf, and there was a line, a full set of Lion Voltron, and it came with virtually everything. Each, character's mouth weapon, and I was just like, I grabbed that and I didn't even look anywhere else. I was just like, I'm done. I didn't even look at the price. I didn't care. I had been dying to get a Lion Voltron for so damn long that when I saw it, I'm sorry, Kronos. I don't mean to make you judge. Trust me, I've been trying to find this for years at a reasonable price. So actually, that was $130, and in my opinion, I think I got a deal because it's all the detachable.
$130. Hell yeah, that's a deal.
Yeah,
you can sell that for double that minimum.
Yep.
What was that?
You could sell that for double minimum.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't gonna fucking happen. But yeah, it's also the lions are detachable. It's that detachable stuff. They have all the the parts to it. I think there's only like maybe one. I think there's only maybe one thing missing from it, but I'm like, I don't care. This was good enough. Yeah,
none of the accessories or any of that. You got all 5 lines in good condition. That thing is gonna fetch you $200.
Well, I did get the accessories. I have the shield. I have the sword. Everything pretty much was there. The only thing I think was missing was one of the projectiles from the Yellow Lion. And I'm like, I don't give a shit.
So it's worth even more.
Yep.
You got to steal.
Oh, yeah. I got to steal. I absolutely think I got a deal of all hell. But as far as what's back here, unless you want to spend a few hours of me talking about everything I got back here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, my wife told me to get a hobby. So I did. It's still, I still don't have a batleth, but I do now have a sword of power. And I have Mjolnir. So I thought it was so funny when I did that picture after we got back from the Indiana convention, and I'm holding up Mjolnir, and I'm holding up the sword of power, and I'm like, I have the power, and I'm worthy. Guys, I couldn't pass this up.
No, I can't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
I could not pass this up. It's so funny. The guys I bought the Voltron from are the same guys I was like, I was looking around. I saw the power sword at one place, and then I was like, I'm going to buy one when I'm ready to leave. And I'm walking around the convention, and I'm like, where the fuck is that damn place? And I ended up going to the guys who were running I don't remember what they call them, running their section, and they were the retro toy store guys I always go to. And I was like, man, I'm trying to find the power sword, and I know there's a place that sells. And then he said, oh, I think you mean that place over there that sells sword. And I looked over, and it was literally adjacent to me. And I just missed it. And I was like, the first thing I said when I walked in, goes, what do you want? I was like, the power sword. I was like, I want this.
Oh, you should have held out for a metal one.
Nah.
I held out till I could have gotten a stainless steel batleth.
Considering the fact I've never seen anywhere other than there sell a power sword, I'm like, I gotta get this. This is like possibly the only time I'm ever gonna be able to get it. So I took advantage of it, and they only wanted $35, which I thought was a good deal.
If it's something you want, then yeah, it was a good deal.
Oh, that's why it's hanging up on my wall next to my He-Man characters.
I'm sorry, what was that, Jerome?
For a metal one, don't go through toys or anything like that. Just talk to the amateur metal forges, forge hobbyists. Just if they don't know what it is offhand, if you get them some pictures of it, they can do it. Maybe $100 at most.
Doesn't sound too bad.
But then again, around here, there's a lot of those hobbyist forgers and whatnot. They do all sorts of that artisan crap. I don't know about Indiana.
Yeah, and my next goal is a Chris knife.
Chris knife? What is that?
From Dune.
Oh! One of the things I want to get a hold of. Now, granted, I don't have a lightsaber, and eventually maybe I'll get one. But I want the weapon from Krull.
Oh, the what did they call that damn thing?
Oh, the tribloid thing.
Yeah, that thing. I want to get that. And a batleth. And a lightsaber, and then I think I might have my weapon collection complete.
Cap, share the screen right quick.
Get there, got it.
This is my next goal.
May your dagger chipper and break. Not you personally, but yeah. That was one of the best one of the best scenes I saw in the movie Dune was watching Jason Momoa play as my favorite character from Dune, Duncan Idaho. And when he does the salute, I was just like, oh my God, I wanted to start crying. He's way better at, he was way, by the way, Josh Brolin did a great job as Gurney Alec. So much better than Patrick Stewart did.
Yeah, I think so. I've never seen the fascination with people liking Duncan as much as they do. To me, Gurney has always been more of the companion for Paul.
Well, I said this actually. I've had that discussion before with people, Mr. Lundell, and what I said is, look at Duncan Idaho is more of a friend, brother to Paul, whereas Gurney Alec is more the uncle.
Yeah,
that's how I've always pursued it. I mean, Duncan Idaho was a friend and almost a brother in some ways to Paul Atreides, whereas Gurney Alec is more the what I would call the mentor and uncle, for lack of a better term. That's the way I've described it.
And Kronos, that is not a stabby knife. That is for display only.
Mm-hmm.
That thing couldn't cut a tomato.
It's a very nice knife.
Yeah, it's a
I actually thought the actor who played Paul Atreides was actually really good. Yes, Kronos. Picard played Gurney, and let's just say that wasn't. Well, one of the things is when you have Duncan Idaho, when he's talking, he's like, he touches him, and he's like, "Did you gain some muscle? Did I?" No. They have a very joking kind of family, sibling kind of relationship or a friendship. Whereas when you have Gurney Alec, who is, when he's training with Paul, and Paul's like, "I'm not in the mood," and Gurney is like, "What does being in the mood have to do with anything?" This is where I came up with it in the way I've read Dune. Is I always thought Duncan Idaho came off as more a brotherly friendship, and Gurney was more the maybe mentor uncle type.
And Gurney was a Harkonnen, so he came up under that system.
They are.
Yeah, he came up under that system, and so he knew. He suffered under it. He knew what type of animals they were. Which
one of the things I really liked about this movie, Mr. Lundell, was when Skarsgård playing Baron Harkonnen was when he lifted up. It wasn't jovial. It wasn't comical. It was menacing. It's like he is displaying power.
Yeah.
And he's displaying fear, which is what the Harkonnens do.
But still, they got that wrong. Yeah, he's fat. He floats. He's got, the suspensors. But it's just, he floats just enough so it looks like he's getting, around normally. He didn't. In the books, he didn't power over people like that. Because all he had to do was wave a hand and a guard slits you in half.
I think the reason why they did that was for the visual effect, because it showed his power and it showed his menacing ability, and it was used as an intimidation. Yes, you're right. It wasn't in the book, but it still came off as a very good visual. And I'm telling you what, Oscar Isaac as Leto Atreides. I mean, if this guy had gotten half the script of the time he did in Star Wars, we might have had a better Star Wars trilogy. I mean, I got chills when he was like, "Damn the spice! Run! Run!" Oh my God, he's got this character nailed.
Yeah. And the opening sequence kind of showed that. But really, I would suggest anybody to read the prequel books.
Which ones?
Oh, God, how many of it? Is it like 9 or 12 of them now?
There's House Harkin, there's House Atreides, there's the history of the Bene Gesserits.
Yeah, well, now go back further. He started with the Butlerian Jihad.
Yes, you're right.
Though that the machine was the Machine trilogy. Read that. Read all of those books and then get back to Dune, because the way they've set up the history, supposedly now that's Frank Herbert's outlines for all of that, and they've been supposedly writing these books based on a lot of research and outlines that he put together before he wrote Dune. And there are, especially now the so-called purists, they have problems with those books because the Dune encyclopedia that's no longer canon because of those books. Which I'm like, go ahead, Brian, set the canon, because what he, in my opinion, what he and Kevin J. Anderson are doing with the prequel books, it's better than what was in the Dune encyclopedia.
Well, I've read a lot of Kevin J. Anderson, both Star Wars and non-Star Wars. And Brian Herbert, I would believe, when he was doing the writing too, wants to honor his father's legacy, because obviously he's done a good job with that. And one of the things I just love about the movie is it is the most one of the most faithful adaptations we've ever gotten to a great book. And the characters were so dynamic, and I've said something. I've been joking about this because I made a joke one time. The Skarsgårds are like the Baldwins of America. They're the Swedish Baldwins of America. It's like, you want a successful movie, you got to have a Skarsgård in it.
Okay, Kronos, what do you want me to do? I'm allowing these two to have a conversation. I'm enjoying listening to what they're talking about.
What is Kronos bitching about now? Let me look over here.
He wants some Mountain Dew. I'm amped up on Mountain Dew.
No, Kronos doesn't get caffeine. He's already too fucked up.
It doesn't fix everything, Kronos. It fixes most things. It actually gives you the wisdom to know the things you can fix and the things that you need to leave alone.
Let's see. Prelude to Dune, House Atreides, Harkin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's actually 19 books that are basically prelude to Dune. Now, Mondale.
Okay, Reader's Digest version, please. There ain't no way in hell I'm going to read 19 books before. No, ain't going to happen.
Audible is your friend, okay?
Only if the books are on Audible.
They are.
True.
Yeah, Frank Herbert wrote six books, as far as I can tell, and then Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson have been the ones writing all the prequels, kind of laying, that groundwork and the foundation of what happened that was described in those Dune books.
Yeah. And it goes into detail about the Harkonnen Atreides feud.
Well, one of the interesting things, one of the most beautiful things I saw out of this movie was when Leto and Paul are talking, and Leto tells him, I know what the Emperor is trying to do.
Yeah. They realized that in the book.
Yes,
they knew
exactly.
They knew it was a trap.
It was going to be a trap because who controls the spice controls the Empire. And he wanted House Harkin and House Atreides to fight each other because he knew they had a blood feud, knew that they would probably fight each other, and it would weaken both houses, and that would be the benefit to the Emperor.
Yeah.
And
shit blew up in his face.
And Leto understood that and told Paul that. Said, we are in a dangerous, we're in a dangerous area. He knew the risk he was taking. The only thing he didn't know was the doctor was a traitor. They tried to take the life of my son. Oh, man. I thought the visuals also in this movie were fantastic. The ships were fantastic. The storyline, the actors, directing. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed a movie that has been this good.
Yeah, and the CG was totally seamless. The flyover of Arakeen, you couldn't tell. That really looked like a little hole in a bleached out desert. It really did.
Mr. Lundell, during your time in the Army, did you ever serve in a sandbox?
Trained a lot at the National Training Center.
So you remember how the wind would brush over the sand and the sand particles would kind of go over? When they put that in the movie, I was like, God dang, this is gorgeous.
Yep.
Kronos, if you haven't seen it, look, I'm going to recommend this. I saw it on HBO Max. I want to go see it in the theater. That's how good I thought this movie was, Kronos. I recommend going to see it in the theater. Get the full experience. Anyway, Cap, thanks for letting me and Mr. Lundell talk about Dune. I don't
problem.
know if anybody else has anybody else seen it. Bird, Resolute Germ, Mar, Professor, have you guys seen the movie yet?
No, I have not seen it.
I don't plan to either.
I would like to see it.
Dune.
No, I don't anticipate seeing it.
You don't have to know the book to enjoy the movie.
No, you don't. They
No, I'm
found
pretty
that they.
familiar with the book and the 1984 version. I just never liked it.
It might
You
even be
might
better
like
if you don't know the book.
Resolute Germ. I know about the 1984 movie. I know there was a lot of disappointment. There was the 1990s sci-fi miniseries.
Yep. Saw that too.
This is visually
a little bit better than the 84 version, but still the entire Dune thing, I'm just not interested in it. I'd rather read the British history it's based off of.
okay. I can respect that. I'll wait till Mr. Lundell gets his questions. Hey, Mr. Lundell.
Yeah.
Did this movie feel 2.5 hours?
No, it's long, but it drags you in, and you do get swept up in. Time will pass before you know it.
Exactly.
It's not a lot of long-winded crap. So
yeah, and I think that was the problem with the 84 movie. Too much dialogue, not enough substance. And in this movie,
there was neither dialogue nor
right
substance
into it.
in the 84 movie.
Well, they throw you right into this movie. And it's like, it didn't feel like 2.5 hours. I was like, when the movie ended, I was like, holy shit, I just finished a 2.5 hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like that. I mean, these are the things why I'm promoting it so much, is because it was enjoyable. It was an experience, and it didn't feel, last time I felt like this about a movie was probably when Lord of the Rings was out.
Mm.
This is what you. Oh, what's up, Cap?
I have to be honest. I don't really care. I'm glad you liked the movie. Don't get me wrong. I just couldn't. Dune, I couldn't care less. I'm more interested in seeing Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Than Dune.
Captain, that's funny because this morning my wife has on the calendar when Ghostbusters comes out to see. And we are going to see it in the theater. Absolutely, hands down. That is not even in question. Kronos, I would disagree with you on Lord of the Rings being the greatest trilogy ever. I'm going to actually give that to Back to the Future. Next is the Star Wars originals.
I think I would put.
What was that?
I think I would put the Star Wars original trilogy ahead of Back to the Future. I like Back to the Future. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great trilogy, but I think the Star Wars one is bigger, better.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the reason why is because unlike Star Wars, my wife is really not interested in Star Wars, so she'll watch Back to the Future. We can watch it all the time together. We love that series together, so that's why it kind of tops over, because it's something I can watch with my wife. So I kind of sometimes base things on what I know, what my wife and I will watch together.
I get
anytime.
that.
Yeah. So I have no issue with what you're saying, but yeah. Star Wars, my wife's not into. Star Trek, my wife's not into. But man, when it comes to Back to the Future, we can talk about those movies all day long and watch them from beginning to end and just love them.
Okay, she doesn't like Star Wars or Star Trek. You shouldn't have married her. That's a pass.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not her. It's not.
If
her
you gotta pick one, that's fine. But no. If she doesn't like Star Wars or Star Trek, no, pass.
You
pass.
have to understand her past. Her ex-husband was a real pain in the ass and would force her to watch things that she was uninterested. I mean, hey,
There's
I
more
got
to
her to
life
watch
than Star Wars and Star Trek.
I've gotten.
Just saying.
No, I agree with you. I've gotten her. You know, we sat
there's
there and we
also
watched
Babylon
Alien
5.
and Aliens. Well, one of the things I did with her was we watched Alien and then we watched Aliens together. And I said, it is universally recognized the second movie is superior. And I said, this is one of the few times you'll ever hear that. So we watched both of them. And she was like, I love them both. And she was like, you're right. Aliens was the superior of the two. But if it wasn't for Alien, we would never have got Aliens.
True. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, my son, we watched Predator and Predator 2. And like I said, I'll never forget when he's like, I want to watch a movie with you. I was like, okay. I didn't want to watch a movie he had already seen 100 times. I was like, so I picked Predator. And he's watching this movie. He's very engaged with it. And, you know, I'll never forget this, where it's like the Predator is doing this thing. And my son is yelling at the TV to Schwarzenegger, run, bitch, it's a bomb. I was like, I gave him a high five because I was like, fuck, you figured it out with Schwarzenegger fan. My son knew it was a bomb.
And how old was he when you showed him this movie?
13.
Why so late? You should have shown him that 5, 6, 7 years earlier.
He had asked me.
Don't know about that.
He had asked me before.
What? I watched that movie in 88. Or whenever, 88, 89, whenever it came out. Didn't affect me. And I was like 4 or 5.
When I saw Aliens the first time, I was 8 years old. And I was at my dad's house. And my grandmother, my grandfather, my father, and I were all there. We were all watching it. And I remember after the movie, I was having nightmares about aliens. And then I woke up and saw a shadowy figure, which turned out to be my grandmother, getting up and walking around. And I was like, I freaked out. So, you know, when it comes to R-rated movies, I have to pick when it's appropriate for them, when I think they can handle it. Because R-rated is so broad. You know, there are things that are R-rated that my kids have seen. There are things that I still think my kids are too young to see that are R-rated.
It's all based on the content in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's you're right there, Professor. But look at my wife. She had never seen Alien or Aliens, or there's quite a few movies I've introduced her to that she enjoyed. She had never seen. It was just her family never introduced her to it. Her ex-husband was a prick, and you know, I've been trying to introduce her stuff, and I don't expect my wife to be a geek like me, but my wife is a geek in her own right. She's not a big Star Wars fan, but she does enjoy Star Trek. And I can respect that because I know geeks who don't care for Star Wars or Star Trek. Now, why they don't care for Star Trek is beyond me.
Mr. Lundell, if you could take a look at the private chat just for a moment, please.
No, I'm not.
Okay. I was going to invite you onto a stream with History with R&R for Veterans Day.
Oh, well, but if you could do it Friday, I could be there.
Okay. No, we can't do it Friday. I have Thursday off because it is the holiday, and that was the topic, was Veterans Day, Remembrance Day.
Yeah. Poppies for young men.
This is my wife's second year as a veteran, my third year as a veteran. It's very strange. You know, it's one of the things that's interesting when you go through what, you know, my wife went through, what I went through, and what Mr. Lundell and anybody went through. It just, there's a certain cultural ingraining that we never let go of. And I don't think it's possible sometimes for us to let go of. Whereas I was in the Marine Corps, and even though I spent 16, I only spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. I spent 16 in the Air Force. And now that I've had almost 3 years to retire, I've done a lot of reflection on the differences of both cultures. Because that's the thing I don't think people understand. Each branch of service is completely a different culture.
Mm-hmm.
The Army has a different culture. The Marine Corps has a different culture. The Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, and now the Coast Guard, and of course now the new Space Force. They're gonna, when the Space Force, you know, is around for 10, 20 years, they are going to have their own culture.
It won't make it that long. Don't even think about it. They're going to be closing that in the next administration or two.
Why?
Because they are anti-military and they don't see the future in it.
Do you know how hard it is to create a new military branch and how hard it is to actually shut down a military branch? It's not as easy as you may sound. And I actually know a Chief Master Sergeant, that's an E9, highest rank you can have in the Air Force, who got the opportunity to transfer from the Air Force to the Space Force because they wanted leadership for that. And I said, I said, basically, I can't think of a better person than you, because he was a phenomenal leader. So I disagree. I don't think you're going to see the Space Force dissolved in 10 years. They've already got the new ranks ready to go.
No, but what all they're doing for the most part is they're combining a lot of those skills, because the Air Force, okay, they do aerospace stuff anyway. All the other branches, they have technical branches that fit into that, you know, what the Space Force will be doing, you know, building, maintain, you know, the satellites and stuff like that. So
exactly. And you know what, Mr. Lundell, you probably know this, but how they created the United States Force is Space Force is similar to what they did with the U.S. Army Air Corps.
Yeah,
that's what the Air Force was derived from. What they did was they took a MAGCOM, Major Command, which was United States Air Force Space Command, that was already there, and that's the model they used to create the Space Force.
Yeah,
and that is where the Space Force came into play.
Yes, and the various branches are already doing related things, so you just combine them into one organization, you know, give it its own structure and everything, and you've got the Space Force. And if anything, in 20 years, it'll be more, you know, the military will look more like the Space Force, and instead of having all these different branches, you could see that being
I could see that
a combined force.
Well, I think too many people had this misconception about the Space Force,
Yeah,
and
they think it's going to be, Star Trek. No, you fucking idiot.
And here was the funny thing when, George Takei and people like that, when is Star Trek going to get royalties for the Delta? And I was like, when Star Trek pays NASA for royalties for ripping off their own thing, because the whole point of the Delta was based off of one of NASA's original designs.
Yep. Oh. Wow.
Hey, Cap, I'm going to tap out, buddy.
Absolutely. I was going to say, it's about ready to end the stream. I do want to thank everybody for joining, and I do want to thank everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and if you're around, be sure to watch Bird of Prey 5 stream later today. It will be Twilight Zone.
Question of Trek at 4:30 Eastern.
Thank you. I was just going to ask that. Thank you.
And after that, Farscape.
That's right.
Love Farscape.
So we've got your Sunday evening planned out.
And afternoon.
Afternoon and evening are planned out. Just keep tuned, and we'll see you later.